We see you. The scales have fallen from our eyes. The veil has drifted down from the sky, meandering firmly, finally revealing your depth of depravity. That's fear you're now feeling. We see you. Your demonic bloodlust laid bare to see, the statue of filth on the BBC, the prince and the madam, the crisper spy, the islands of horrors in the ocean lie. We see you. A billion souls stolen over the years. You hid them deep down to drown their tears. Perfect and innocent, God's own creations, mutilated by your sick machinations. We see you. Vlad the Impaler and his vile descendants, fleeing the palace from the 5D ascendants. The virus distracted, but gave us the time to peel back the layers of your heinous crimes. We see you. Run as fast as you can. Back for more orders from the Phoenician clan. Out, White Rabbit. The looking glass cracked. Tipping point reached. Odds against you now stacked. We see you. Pizza and hot dogs. Pasta and sauce. Your sickness decoded your lack of remorse. Our slumber is over, our eyes not wide shut. For the children of Haiti, a knife to your gut. We see you. Ascension is powered by the light of the flare. Scramble like rats to the ruins of your lairs. It's over, it's over. Save our children, we cry. Revealed, reviled. It's your soul's time to die. We see you.
When she got off the school bus a few days ago, her father saw her and she was wearing a mask. Now, in my school district, we have an illegal mask mandate. But she was wearing a mask, even though even under their own illegal mask mandates rules, she shouldn't have had to. But it wasn't enough that she was wearing a mask because she's a special needs nonverbal Down syndrome child, who, by the way, 3 weeks earlier, the school district had called the parents and said, your daughter's taking her shoes off in school. Could you help us to make sure she keeps her shoes on? They were willing to call about that. When her father saw her get off the school bus, she was wearing a mask and it was tied around her head with nylon rope. The mask was full of saliva. The girl couldn't breathe. Father's furious. How could they do that to my daughter today? So he went to the school and he talked to the school and he found out they didn't do it that day. They had tied this mask around her face every single day for the previous 6 weeks that she was in school. They just forgot to take it off that day before they sent her home. So when the parent said, what on earth were you thinking, to the teacher and to the principal, their answer was, the school board told us that our students all had to wear masks. There's a special place in hell for the 3 people who did this to this girl. This girl experienced real child abuse at the hands of the Brevard County School Board. And I will tell you this session, there's going to be hell to pay for the people who did that.
Good afternoon, YouTube. I hope you've seen this. I hope the story pisses you off a lot. I really hope it does. I'm not going to say much about it because it speaks for itself. It's fucked. But you want to see something even more fucked? Watch this.
There's a special place in hell for these people who have done this to this man's daughter.
The concerned parent says a teacher tied a mask around the face of his special needs daughter.
The mask was quite tight on her face, which was, of course, obstructing her ability to speak and her ability to breathe.
Well, that father is blaming the school mask mandates for his daughter Sophia's suffering.
Fox 35's Holly Bristow spoke with him today, and Holly, he's hoping change comes as a result of what happened to his daughter.
He certainly is, and tonight he tells me that he's speaking out in hopes that this does not happen to another special needs child. He tells me his daughter with Down syndrome is non-communicative and was unable to tell her parents that this was even happening.
I was quite angry, so I waited 4 days from the Thursday the 7th until Tuesday after Columbus Day to go in and speak because I really needed to calm down.
Jeff Steele is talking about his family's reaction when his 7-year-old Sophia, who suffers from Down syndrome, came home from Ocean Breeze Elementary School with a mask tied around her head.
When this child got off the bus and had the mask, it was tied around the back of her head underneath her ponytail. And it was quite tight around her face.
He says it was tied so tight she struggled to talk and even breathe.
Medically, it's very dangerous for her to do that. She could aspirate, she could asphyxiate, all sorts of medical things that could happen as a result of that, which would then, forcing her breathing because of her enlarged tongue, it could also cause seizures.
The father says he always assumed Sophia was exempt from the mask mandate because of her disability. He's furious no one from the school ever called him.
Why in the world, since the mandate happened back in September and you were going to begin to put this on my child and now then tie it on my child, would you never pick up the phone and call me and ask me to give me my informed consent, which never happened, which legislation and the IEP requirements require them to do, and they did not follow that.
State Representative Randy Fine weighed in on this situation.
There's a special place in hell for these people who have done this to this man's daughter.
Fine blames school board members who voted for mandatory masks, namely Jennifer Jenkins.
You watch a state representative say there's a special place in hell for me on television is disturbing.
We reached out to Brevard County Schools about this situation. Here's what they said to us. The student was given a mask exemption as soon as the parents made the request to the school leadership. The school district is investigating the allegations made by the family. BPS strives to ensure each student has the best educational experience possible and will continue in that effort. For now, live in studio, Holly Bristow, Fox 35.
Now, if you're not ready to pick up the pitchforks, you have no fucking soul. Pickle Heights. Fuck the government, I've been solving it in my head. Been wondering why ends are never fucking met. Pick through the people, we the people are tired of the shit. Stronger bit by bit, been struggling for too long, we will never quit. Fuck the government, I've been solving it in my head. Been wondering why ends are never fucking met. Pick through the people, we the people are tired of the shit. Stronger bit by bit, been struggling for too long, we will never quit. Look at all the money that you've wasted, all the cultures that you've hated, heavily discriminated, never liberated, yeah. Put in cages, yeah, erasing pages, unlivable wages, a little more control in stages. You open up their minds and stuff it with lies. You gotta roll the fucking dice, the ones who pay the fucking price. You feed the big corporations, you know they're aberration places. The world is up in flames and you're doing nothing to contain it. Control the population, I'll resurrect the nation. Open up the minds with patience, awaken revelation. You know they want change, and I don't blame. They're done playing your game. This country's founded on stains, this country's losing its faith. Fuck the government, I've been solving it in my head.
In the mountains of Quebec, the patriotic militia train even in the heart of winter. They learn to resist the cold, fire weapons, and care for the wounded, preparing for a day when the British-Canadian forces may eventually attack.
You don't have the guts to be what you want to be. You're all a bunch of fucking assholes.
Where is
men acted like men.
But just remember,
corrupted system the sheep will follow, but
We stood up for what was right. We fought for moral reasons. We cared about our neighbors. We aspired to intelligence. We didn't belittle it. It didn't make us feel inferior. We didn't identify ourselves by who we voted for in the last election, and we didn't scare so easy. We were able to be all these things and do all these things because we were informed.
You know why?
Because we realized that the separatist movement had no means of self-defense. It's nice and all to say, yes, we're pacifists, but when they send the army after you, what are you going to do then?
How about telling the truth? You need people like me. You need people like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy. Will that make you good?